If you're comparing Gorilla ROI and Hopted, this video is for you. I'm going to break down how the tools differ, which types of businesses each one fits, why speed becomes a big differentiator at scale, and the difference between pricing to help you decide. So I'm Jay, the founder of Gorilla ROI, and will there be some bias? Yes, but that's because I've been building our product for 6 years. And my wife and I have been selling on Amazon since 2012, and we still run a 7-figure Amazon store, so we understand all the data needs and struggles. Early on, I handled operations completely by myself, just manually exporting reports, fixing broken spreadsheets late into the night. And I remember sitting with my head in my hands, completely overwhelmed, just thinking there had to be a better way. And that's the experience of how Gorilla ROI started and why we exist today. First, between Hopted and Gorilla ROI, let's start with what's the same. So Gorilla ROI and Hopted are both very close in terms of the final output. We both pull Amazon data into Google Sheets. We both point and click, both support custom reports, both refresh automatically. And we're both used by sellers who already use Google Sheets. I would say the biggest differences right now is that we, Gorilla ROI, already support Shopify with Walmart coming next, and our focus will be on e-commerce platforms and more just around the corner. Hopted has some additional features that we don't have, like the write back feature that we'll go into. Where most comparisons go wrong, it's not about the features. When you start trying to compare features, you end up going with something that may not have been the right fit. The big difference shows up, and the comparison should be, how should your spreadsheets be used at scale? If you intend to grow, how does that change your business? How fast do you want your data to load? How stable do you want your spreadsheets and your reports to remain? How predictable do you want your workflow to remain across your team? And that's the day-to-day experience that really matters, because you don't want to be constantly changing and fidgeting as you keep growing. You just want something that works behind the scenes and it just works. Hopted uses a Chrome extension as their control interface inside Google Sheets. Their configuration is handled through a visual sidebar, and you can select accounts, reports, and fields through the UI. They also have a pretty cool feature where you can join data across different reports, and you can also create calculated fields directly from their user interface. They are also working towards a write back functionality from the sheets into Amazon. So what this is you can make a change inside a spreadsheet, push it directly into Amazon. Personally, what I found is that this tool as Hopted generally looks to be more suitable for a smaller or more beginner-friendly team that wants a guided and UI-driven workflow. It isn't really suited for big established teams. Now, Gorilla ROI on the other end, we installed by a Google Sheets add-on. Same configuration done through the add-on sidebar, point and click. You select the account, the different reports. You can customize which fields that you want to display. And we also support a feature where you can use advanced formulas or custom formulas, and it's very suited for advanced users who like building reports using tried and true formula methods, just like from the beginning of spreadsheets, right? And Gorilla ROI really fits a team that relies on speed, reliability, and large data sets just working in the background. This is what I found interesting. So it's, you update a data into your spreadsheet, and then you can push it into Amazon. Now, it looks like this feature is coming soon, so it's not live on their production version at the moment. And I can see where it can be useful in certain workflows. Like if I was wanting to change the price of some inventory, rather than just going directly into, say, Amazon or TikTok or Shopify, just plug it all into a spreadsheet and then just upload it. And I can see where that works. Finally, I've had many people ask me to build this over the years, but I've always pushed it away because my concern has always been with accidental writes once teams grow. Having talked with so many other brands and teams with, say, 10 to 20 employees and multiple virtual assistants, people always fear accidental data being uploaded or overwritten that cannot be reversed, or actually, if something happens, the reversal process could take days and be much more damaging than just saving a few minutes to upload prices or other information. So that's why we created Gorilla ROI as downstream only by design. And so that's an intentional choice because we want to focus on prioritizing data accuracy and safety in just day-to-day operations. So we've been building Amazon to Google Sheets connectors for like over 6 years now. Before this even became a thing, we were the original and one of the first. So my team isn't just a team of developers. They actually help us run our Amazon store. It forces them to truly understand what sellers want and need. And this is the next part that I feel most confident about. If you compare tools like Hopted, Supermetrics, SyncWith, Coefficient, and the list goes on with other similar tools, performance is where things really start to separate each tool. Over the years, we've found that Google Sheets will start to really lag. And at a certain size, many connectors become really slow, sluggish, unstable, and even unreliable. And that's why we focused obsessively on performance from the beginning, not just once, but continually over 6 years. Today, we can load 30,000 rows of Amazon data in under 20 seconds. So that's not just a single column of like just 30,000 items. I'm talking about a full table from left to right, multiple columns, 30,000 rows in under 20 seconds. So when we test against large established connectors with huge data sets, we are far and light, I wouldn't say light years, sorry. I would say we are years ahead in terms of performance because that's what we want to do really well. Just be super fast. Keep things simple so that you can get your profit margin, your inventory data, custom metrics as quick as possible into your spreadsheet and then let you calculate the numbers needed. So let's talk pricing. Pricing models are also different between Gorilla ROI and Hopted. It looks like Hopted's pricing is a little bit more complex because they base it on synced tabs and user add-ons. So if you have a spreadsheet with lots of different tabs, which I assume most people do, you have to pay for those extra tabs. If you have a bigger team than say just 2 or 3 people, you have to pay for additional users. And I get that a lot of other tools, and it's fairly common amongst web apps to charge per people or per team member. But it looks like as your spreadsheets grow and as your team grows, your cost is going to rise. Now, Gorilla ROI, our pricing is just based on one single variable, and that's your monthly order volume. So if you're a huge seller or you're a small seller, we don't believe in, for example, a small seller having to pay for a big plan. They don't have that many needs, right? But just because you sell maybe $1,000 a month or even less, let's say 1,000 orders a month, you shouldn't be limited with the number of tabs or the number of people helping you out. So it's unlimited data, unlimited refreshes, unlimited tabs. So you can go all out, create 100 different spreadsheets if you want, 1,000 different tabs, create as many different models. That's completely up to you. So everything is just included in one single price. Now, who should choose which? Okay, so in summary, it comes down to this. Choose Hopted if you're smaller, starting out, and you have a smaller team, and your reporting needs are light. Choose Gorilla ROI if you have 3 or more employees, and you really value speed, reliability, and need to work with large data sets quickly. Because both tools solve the same core problems. It's just a different approach and different philosophy of how that's done. We focus heavily on just speed, and just simplicity. We don't have the bells and the whistles. We just want to give you the data that you want and then let you handle everything inside the spreadsheet. Hopted has much nicer UI, nicer functionality where you can create your own custom formulas inside their UI, and you can have more control over maybe the final output in terms of how fancy you want to make it look. Okay, so in the end, that decision is up to you. So depending on where you are with your business and how you want your business to behave and what your business looks like going ahead, I hope this comparison helps you decide which tool is the right one for you.